I think that's the perfect time to start.
Those conversations, we had them.
My belief is that it is a journey.
One of my most favorite things to work on is father-daughter succession plans. The roadmaps for father-daughters are really special. And I just thought I would tell you one story that I really have found to be inspiring for me over the years. It's a client that I have had for many, many years. And I was able to see her, the daughter, through her journey of coming into the business, understanding what the business was going to be about, and then figuring out how to get married, how to navigate having a spouse now and what that meant for the ownership side, then having a child, which was her first baby. That was terrific because she was the COO at the time. And when she decided that she wanted to have a baby and got pregnant, one of the things that we worked on, since we work on transitions, right? We worked on how she was going to take 8 weeks off and have the business move forward without her having to be there. So she could really enjoy the opportunity to be a new mom and actually also have the business go forward while her father kind of stepped back in a little bit to take on a little bit more over those 8 weeks, just to watch over things. It was really a cool process to understand how she was going to do that and what the roadmap was for her to get from being involved and being an owner to not being involved as an owner for just 8 weeks. And then one of the key pieces that I thought was great is the shift in her thinking. So what happened is when she started to think about leaving and going off on this 8 weeks off for her new baby, she in her mind was like, okay, I'll be able to give this up, and then when I come back, I will take it back on. In the preparation, which took, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months, what we did is start to think about and go through the items that she would actually hand off forever. So what could she do to train somebody so that when she came back in, if she was going to be successful, for instance, re-inventorying the store, merchandising, she might come back in and oversee merchandising, but why take it over completely herself? So that was one example of one item. It was really wonderful to watch that happen. And when she came back in, not only was she able to have fun with her baby and experience that as a mom, she also had growth in her company and other people had opportunities. It was fascinating. So part of the journey. In this, I also was able to walk through with her the second child and also a divorce situation with then a remarriage after. So the reason why I'm telling you this with the life of this client of mine is her father was the transitioner. He was the one that was supporting her all the way through this journey. And life in a small business becomes probably one of the most crucial things, because as a small business owner, we have choices of how quickly we build the company, who we surround ourselves with, how much profit we want for a while, how we're going to reinvest in the company. And I remember this was really crucial because we all have mindsets and we all come from different generations. So her father, right, 30 years older, grew up in a different time. And in his time, women were, if they had kids, they would stay at home. So I remember from his perspective, child number 1, right, daughter's pregnant, and it's like, oh, I don't know if she's gonna be able to or want to continue to own and operate this company. So in this roadmap, we never know when things are going to happen that are going to influence how we approach and how we see the business. That's why I think it's a journey and not an event. So as this dad navigated, first baby's on the way, and he's like, I don't know if she's going to want to or be able to. those conversations, we had them, and she loved the business. So it was great. She was able to be a mom, get away for the 8 weeks. Business went well, trained some people, gave them more opportunity, and it was sort of a win all the way around for that. Then baby 2 comes, and marriage is kind of falling apart. And I remember getting together with him, and he was really worried. And his initial thought was, okay, I'm gonna have to sell the business, right? Because he was still majority owner at the time. I'm gonna have to sell this business. It's not gonna work out. I just can't see how she can take the stress of having to raise 2 kids basically in a separated situation, in a divorce situation, and be able to run this company at the same time. He was protecting his daughter, but also protecting the business. And my thought was completely opposite. My thought was that we were going to have to rethink what was going to happen there. The best opportunity for her, because the business was going well and she was well into being a leader and really the primary person in that company, the best thing for her would be to stay in the business. She loved the business. The business was a part of her. She knew how to run it. And even if she needed to take more time to be with the kids because of the divorce, she had the opportunity to have people around her, not just to have an 8 to 5 job, not to just have only boundaries that were created by somebody else. So we walked all the way through that one too, having conversations about how this shift in her life would play out with the business, how she saw these next steps. And we adjusted the transition roadmap. We adjusted that so that we then rolled that forward. And there were some changes, of course, but they were advantageous again to the business, the team, to the father, because it put him at rest that this was going to be okay. And it was really the best choice for the daughter. These stories, fathers tend to protect their daughters, of course, right? My dad protects me still to this day. And as that happens, sometimes without the right communication and without really having a strategy and a joint strategy going forward, the decisions that are made, the mindsets that are there, keep us from seeing a potential opportunity that we're kind of afraid of. So when you build a roadmap, when you do that, and when you have a transition roadmap, the roadmap is actually your strategy forward that needs to be adjusted along the way. So some people say, oh, I'm not ready to plan. I'm not going to do it yet, right? It's a long way away. It takes a lot of years to get a successor in place. It takes they have a big growth curve that they have to go through, a learning curve. And these roadmaps, they're revisited. They are a tool that you can use to gain alignment and have conversations about things that you're concerned with. It was very difficult for the dad to show up and say, I don't know if this business is right, and I don't know if I should sell it basically out from underneath you, and have that conversation and the why behind it. So I love the idea of a roadmap. I love the idea of father-daughter transitions. They are so amazing and so wonderful. And I hope that this story was of value to you.